All right. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Passions Podcast post show on the couch.
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
Together again.
Together again for like the 100th time.
Yeah.
We haven't done the post show that many times, but we have done we have like 102 episodes right now of the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an impressive backlog.
It's a lot. All right, so today we're going to talk about some stuff from the episodes, and we have an email from Zach.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Let's do this. Okay, so the subject line is, we got to talk about Ethan. Zach writes, ladies, apparently I'm the only person who actually likes Ethan, lol. I don't think he's nearly the bad guy y'all think he is. At the point where you guys are at, Ethan's character is struggling with being a crane, but actually having ethics and morals. Don't forget, Ivy did her damnedest to limit Julian's influence on Ethan by keeping him in boarding school and college so he wouldn't pick up Julian's horrendous habits. Now he's struggling with what it means to be a crane according to Julian and his own sense of right and wrong. As far as this situation with Gwen and Teresa goes, I disagree with a lot of your takes, but I definitely agree with one thing. I think Ethan is a sweet guy who loosens up around Teresa, whereas he's more buttoned up with Gwen. He's also dense as a brick, which we agree on. He spent months not realizing he was falling for Teresa. Then he spent months in denial that he'd fallen for her. If we're being technical, the emotional and sometimes physical affair began with the kiss on the dock and lasted until he broke off the wedding to Gwen. When it comes to Gwen's sad attempt to seduce Ethan, why does she get a pass though? She and Rebecca tried to manipulate Ethan, and I know you said he was kissing her back, but I didn't recall it that way, and my live tweet reaction when I first saw it was, and I quote, Ethan's laying next to Gwen with his arm around her shoulder, but he looks like there's an invisible 12 gauge pointed directly at his head. Either way, it's not his fault Gwen and Rebecca tried to play him. When it comes to the three-way conversation, though, I'm 100% with you. That was dumb. He fell so hard for Teresa that he called off his wedding and then stopped a whole-ass plane to get her back. That certainly feels like a decision to me. It felt like the conversation and the ludicrous setup that arose from it was really about Ethan being incapable of just accepting that Gwen was going to be hurt by him wanting to be with Teresa. He never came across as the guy who was torn, but more as the guy who was under the delusion that he could resolve the situation without hurting him. It also made Gwen look pathetic for stooping so low for a man that clearly did not want her, because if he did, he wouldn't have fallen so deeply in love with another woman. Lastly, to answer your question about what Gwen and Teresa want with Ethan, Gwen wants the power, prestige, and money that comes with marrying the Crane heir. Teresa loves Ethan for who he is, not what he has. They actually have fun together. Apologies for the long email, but I had to defend my dum-dum, Zach.
All right. Thanks for the email, Zach.
Thank you, Zach. And it's good, it's good to have another perspective.
Yeah. I mean, everybody sees what they see, right?
Yeah.
Zach, did you give us that 1 star? Was that you? Was that you? Because we don't like Ethan? No. Honestly, I agree and disagree in some places.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. Let me open it. Because So, yeah, apparently you are the only person that likes Ethan. I mean, how many people have written into us now like, yeah, what does anybody see in him? And honestly, on the TikTok, because I post clips on the TikTok a lot, and so many people are like, yeah, why? Why are they fighting over Ethan?
Him? I think part of it too is like 20 years now is a big difference than 20 years from like 1910 to 1930.
Yeah, that's true.
Like in terms of social expectations and where we have come with like what women and men are and how they behave in relationships and what their roles are and all this other stuff. And I think it was just this kind of love triangle was so much more accepted 20 years ago than what it is now, and we're just looking at it from a completely different perspective.
We really
days.
are.
Yeah.
Where women are just like, I wouldn't do all of that for him.
And 20 years ago, it seems like they would, because they wrote it and people loved it.
I love it now. Honestly, I mean, I do enjoy it, but if I'm putting myself in the character's shoes, these are not choices I would make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also do not understand the choices.
Not
just
yeah.
that they're not choices I would make, because there's choices that people make that I understand why they made the choice, even though it's not a choice I would make.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, I would make this choice and I don't understand why anybody would.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think this week we said it on the show, but I think the writers have really solidified that Rebecca wants Gwen to be married to Ethan for, like Zach said, for the money and the prestige and the power. And Gwen is hurt enough that she's kind of going along with it.
Yes.
And is directing all of her hate at the wrong person. It's all going to Teresa when it should be at Ethan.
Yes.
But
I also agree with Zach when he talks about how he thinks Ethan decided to go along with this because he cannot just accept the fact that he's gonna hurt Gwen.
Yeah.
I actually, that's a hot take.
Yeah.
Hot take.
I think it's a really good point too. And he's been saying that, and we've just kind of, like, I don't know, been ignoring it maybe because we, like...
Yeah, he's been saying, I'm just going to hurt Gwen.
We've been a little blinded to it because, we have our bias there.
Yeah.
And so I think it's good that you pointed out,
he just can't accept it.
Can't accept that he's maybe not as good a guy as he wants to think that he is. And he's going to hurt a person that he cares about, and that it sucks.
Yeah.
But breaking up sucks. It really sucks to dump someone. It really sucks to be dumped.
Yeah.
It's not fun for anyone. And he doesn't want to take the responsibility for it. And this is his way out.
I've never been dumped. I've only been ghosted. So I wouldn't know. I've dumped and I've been ghosted.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it sucks. It all sucks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So thanks for the email. Was there anything else we wanted to talk about in this?
Let's see.
I think he asked why Gwen gets a pass. And honestly, I vaguely remember saying Gwen gets a pass. And I think Gwen gets a pass in that moment because she is obviously not thinking straight. Like when she gets into bed with him, she's like scrambling, doing whatever she can to keep him because her wedding is tomorrow. Her wedding is still tomorrow.
Yeah, they haven't called the wedding off. He called the wedding off, but the wedding itself hasn't been called off.
Yeah, so he
told her, I'm not going to be there.
So I'm not saying it's right, but I'm giving her a pass on it in that she's doing what she can.
Yeah.
Let's give her this bone, Zach.
She's trying to salvage the relationship.
Let's throw that dog a bone.
Yeah. But I agree. Yeah, like it makes her look pretty pathetic.
She is pathetic. She is pathetic.
This is a pathetic situation.
It's a pathetic situation, and she is
that
pathetic.
Two people would fight over another person like this who doesn't know what they want. If you don't know that you want me, then I don't want you.
Right. I'm not gonna do this nonsense with you.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I'm not gonna degrade myself like this.
No.
Like I have some shredded dignity somewhere inside of me.
And the thing is, Gwen is the one doing the majority of like throwing herself at Ethan and really truly debasing herself.
Yeah.
Because she's the one that's been thrown over. Right? Mm-hmm. Teresa is the one that he has just decided he loves, right? Mm-hmm. He just realized he loves. So they didn't have a relationship. There was no betrayal between the two of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But for Gwen to like really grovel at his feet, after all of this, sad, so sad. So that's what I got to say about that.
Yeah,
honestly, I agree with some of the things that you say, and I appreciate it. Yeah, we appreciate you.
Good points. Yeah.
There's something else I want to talk about that we didn't talk about during the show that I meant to say and didn't, and that's about the Magic storyline. Reese, at one point, jumps in to try to explain away why Kay and Miguel had the same hallucinations, right? He says it's because you were laying so close to each other and one of you probably just started speaking out in your delirium and the other's subconscious picked it up and you started having the same visions of the things going on. Except, why is Reese the first one to try to make sense of this way when he literally thought Tabitha was a fucking mermaid? Like, Reese has been on the magic train for a while.
Yeah.
He was literally doing research on his Palm Pilot about that pendant and saw that it had occult ties to the occult, and talked about it and asked Tabitha about it. So it seems like he would be the first one to be like, oh, the pendant was glowing and the pendant had evil powers.
Yeah, he's been on the paranormal train for a minute. Like, he thought Tabitha was a mermaid, which was correct. The Titanic stuff, when he was researching with Charity and Miguel and like past lives, the stuff with the pendant.
What I just remember too is he saw Timmy alive.
He saw Timmy alive.
He saw Timmy alive, and recently, like while they were at the campsite, he saw Timmy alive, and then they just kind of explained it away. But now Kay and Miguel are saying we saw it too.
Yeah, it is interesting. But Reese is also a man of science, you know? Like, maybe he's trying to find scientific explanations to the inexplicable.
I guess. Reese is a man of science, but he thought Tabitha was a mermaid.
Yeah, so
enough to attack her.
Yeah, it is interesting that he's so quick to find this other explanation. Yeah, you'd think he would be one of the early adopters of, oh, we live in a town with magic, with a witch next door and her doll that came to life.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, he's not.
Yeah, I'm just a little frustrated with that part of the storyline that nobody's believing anything that Kay and Miguel say. And they have the exact same story. They saw the exact same thing. There's no way it didn't happen. Well, there's no way they hallucinated the exact same thing.
There was also a fireball in the sky.
And that was my next part. Y'all saw the fireball and you saw the light destroy the fireball.
Right. And you're all very religious people.
Yeah.
And she was talking about St. Michael and the flaming sword, and she said all of it.
Well, and when the light comes out of the shaft to kill the fireball, listen to these sentences.
I know, sometimes I hear what comes out of my mouth and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
What have I been doing for 2 years?
Pilar specifically says the light is doing battle with the fireball. And she says that the light is the angels in our prayers and the fireball is all like evil.
The souls of the damned.
The souls of the damned and evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a whole prayer scenario that we didn't really talk about, but we are now. And yeah, you are correct. That did happen. I was kind of expecting Father Lonigan to show up.
Father Lonigan was taking cover.
Or that angel or something.
Father Lonigan was down in that
Also,
what?
I just need to talk about how stupid the idea is to go into the mine shaft and they think that the fireball they're going to be saved by getting into the mine shaft. You're going to be buried alive at best.
And burned alive at worst. Yeah.
That was the stupidest...
Which Reese says.
That was the stupidest thing.
Reese says that to them. He's like, this is not a good idea.
Well,
but
Reese was correct.
But they tell him to shut up. They say, shut up, Reese.
That was so stupid.
And so they decide they're going to... But it doesn't... We didn't even talk about that because it didn't even happen.
We have to talk about Whitney and Chad.
Oh, shit.
We'll do it now.
Yeah, Whitney and Chad.
Completely forgot.
You know, I didn't add them in my summary. It's my fault.
I completely forgot. Yeah.
Not a whole lot happens. Whitney almost dies. Chad pulls her back.
Whitney almost dies. Chad rescues her. And when they see that fireball coming at them, Whitney finally admits she would have regrets if she died without rejecting her parents and without pushing so hard for tennis, which is maybe something she doesn't even want to do, and without really admitting her feelings and finding love.
Yeah, and letting a boy love her is what she says.
Letting a boy love me.
And Chad says he doesn't have any regrets because he's right where he wants to be with the person he wants to be with. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they had a nice few moments. They really did. But it wasn't a lot, and I think that's why I ended up leaving it out. But I probably should have put it in. I forgot.
We just talked about it. It's okay.
Whatever.
We did it.
All right. And then she goes back to like pretending.
Yeah, when the fireball doesn't kill them.
Yeah. So I think that's why. I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
We took 2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
Yes. Like Simone was climbing down into the shaft. And Whitney fell down and was like clinging to a rope. And then I think they just were like, well, maybe we shouldn't go into the mine shaft to avoid the fireball. I guess we're just going to die now.
So dumb.
And then Pilar did her thing. And yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the show. The post show.
Confusing. It's confusing.
It is.
This
It
magic
is what
stuff
it
is.
is.
This magic stuff, I don't even know.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm excited though because
What?
now we're out of the mine shaft and we've moved on to Hecuba, and I'm very excited. Oh, Laura, you're gonna miss it. Oh, you're gonna miss it.
I'll check in. You can tell me what's going on. It's the magic stuff is just so weird. And my expectation at the beginning of this show was at some point everyone's going to be on board with we have magic in our town. But it's seeming like only some people are going to understand that magic exists.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just going to continue as they're just going to be muggles.
Going
and they're
about
not
the
going to have any
business.
idea about, Hogsmeade and Platform 9 3/4 and all. They're just not going to know.
No.
So,
The Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
They won't know about it.
yeah.
So, all right, that's it. Bye. You are my passion.